So, I have a very, very good feeling that Xbox may not be around for much longer. Not Microsoft, but just the Xbox brand. Now, this absolutely is really, really sad because Xbox has been a console that I pretty much grew up with. Now, pretty much I played all three of the console manufacturers, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox as well. But the Xbox is where I started online gaming with the Xbox 360. Like, as you can see, we have a ton of Xbox 360 games, minus as well as PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and a decent good bit of Xbox One. But when the whole idea started to playing online and gaming and collecting as many hard copies of games that we were able to, and the newest, best graphics of the newest system at the time, the Xbox 360 was the console that we started all of that on. So, even then, I personally like the Xbox, and it's just really sad right now of what this route Microsoft is going down with, and it does not look great whatsoever. So, we got a couple different things that we're going to show you that the FTC was absolutely right about this whole Activision Blizzard, and then there's going to be some other things that we're also going to mention that they actually did, like, just lie about and such. Like, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's just flat out ridiculous. And like I said on my previous video about the Xbox Game Pass prices going up, Xbox just needs new leadership. I'm going to continue to say this every single time. Xbox needs new leadership. It is time for Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond to leave, get fired. It is time for them executives to get replaced, because I bet you like 80% it's them that's killing the brand and that's making all of these horrible choices. It's them. It's time to get them replaced. But, so, over here is proof of the FTC, Lena Khan, who actually predicted that this would hurt business and it would really hurt against consumers with the Activision Blizzard acquisition. So here's proof of it. So Microsoft acquires Activision has been followed by a significant price hikes and layoffs, harming both gamers and developers. So yes, it's also developers that's getting affected by this. As we've seen across sectors, increasing market consolidation and increasing prices often go hand in hand. So right here, here's an evidence in March of 2023 when they were fighting against this acquisition merger. So in March 2023, Microsoft told a court Game Pass prices will not increase as a result of the Activision merger. On July 10th, 2023, a federal judge whose son works at Microsoft rejected the FTC challenge to the merger. Once again, Lena Khan was right. So, that's right there another lie that Microsoft made about the Activision Blizzard deal with Game Pass. They absolutely lied. But here's where things get more interesting. So, Xbox lost over $300 million in sales and profits putting Call of Duty in Game Pass. So, a new report from Bloomberg, eating former employees who ask not to be identified, reviews that the remote firm lost over $300 million releasing last year's Call of Duty Black Ops 6 directly into the subscription. The expense has been calculated based on expected lost sales across Xbox consoles and PC, where the game was available to download day one as part of Microsoft's service. In the US, PlayStation platforms accounted for an outrageous 82% of all the full price launch month sales. So right here, coming from Bloomberg, is official. Like, they lost $300 million in Call of Duty sales and profits. So not just Call of Duty getting the money, but also them getting it. So now they are making this as this is the reason why they're raising prices, but a lot of people's canceling their service. So in the really end, they really screwed themselves over buying the Activision Blizzard deal. They really did screw themselves over. It's insane, dog. It's just insane what this company is just been doing. So yeah, I really just don't know what this company really just thinks. So let's go back to earlier in the year, okay? Nintendo and PlayStation, yes, they have been making horrible choices, like PlayStation from last year with the game Concord. That was a horrible choice they made. Also, canceling a lot of live service games, betting on live service and not first-party quality single-player games that they did. Another thing PlayStation messed up on. But guess what? The PlayStation 5 is continuing to sell still. And then now, the PlayStation 5 Pro is a much better deal than the 2TB Xbox Series X. So in that perspective, you're getting just the amount as storage as you get with the 2TB Xbox Series X. Yes, it may not have a disk drive, but if you got internet, which most people do, most people at least got fast internet. There's still some that don't, but a good majority do. And probably even if they don't, they could buy a disk drive for the PlayStation 5 Pro if they wanted to. But really, at the end of the day, they're just getting a much better console. It's a much better value than the 2TB Xbox Series X. Now, let's move on forward to the beginning of the year with the Nintendo. With Nintendo Switch 2 getting ready to release. Yes, they have messed up. And they have overpriced in their games. And I do not agree with it. I just don't think it's a good idea. But they did it. But you want to know why the Nintendo is still in a healthy position as well? It's because, well, let's think. Games. First-party games. Is Nintendo the most profitable, or I should say the most advanced console out there? Is the Nintendo Switch 2 the most graphical enhanced, like, high-spec kind of console out there? No, it's definitely not. Well, then why is it selling? Well, it's because they got the games. They got first-party games and some third-party games right now on the Switch 2. Okay, what about the PlayStation 5? Well, PlayStation 5 might not be the most powerful console. Well, it is with the PlayStation 5 Pro, but let's just count the base PS5. It's still very identical to the Xbox Series X. But guess what? Microsoft's games are now on there. PlayStation's first-party games are on there. And third-party games are on there. And the system is much more cheaper than the Xbox Series X's. And then guess what? PlayStation Plus's subscriptions is also cheaper than Xbox Game Pass. Look at it like this. You can get PlayStation Plus Premium. Now, this is not me defending a company whatsoever or me being a PlayStation Sony pony, because like I said at the beginning of the video, Xbox is where I started online gaming and is when I started heavily collecting hard copies of games back in the day. It is when I started, and I still love the Xbox brand in general, but I don't agree with what their choices are. So before anybody says that, I'm going to be honest with you, I am not a PlayStation fanboy. I play on every platform out there. I have a Nintendo Switch, I have a Switch OLED, I got a PS5, even PS4, Xbox One, and Series X, and then right now I also own a PC that we're recording off. But with PlayStation Plus Premium, guess how much that is a year? $160. So $200 cheaper than a whole year's worth of Game Pass Ultimate. Let that sink in. And I think you're getting a lot more games for the buck. And yes, Sony doesn't put new day one releases on there, but they usually put new games within a year or so after they come out on their service. But that's not all. You got a huge collection of the PlayStation 4 catalog that are some of the best games still to this day, like Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn, and then you could probably even play the remaster, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War 2018, Uncharted 4, and some third-party games like WWE, like let's say 2K25, that you can play now on PlayStation Plus. You just got a huge selection of games that you can choose from old and new. Now, Game Pass Ultimate, however, did extend, but this is a part where I don't think the price is actually worth it. Ubisoft Classics. I about said that wrong. Classics. Not Ubisoft Premium, not Ubisoft Plus Premium, but Classics. So, putting old games on the service that most gamers either own or already played, it's not worth it. It's not worth the extra price. So, right there just showed, like, Xbox losing money and evidence and proof that the FTC was right. It was absolutely 100% and it was accurate. Like, they lied, and then they lied about first-party games of saying only 4 games were coming last year, and then here we go with Indiana Jones coming to the PS5, Forza Horizon 5 coming to the PS5, Gears of War Reloaded coming to the PS5. Like, I'm not against that at all, but the idea that early last year in 2024 that Microsoft lied and said not all games were coming, and then just months later it's like, oh yeah, this is coming all of a sudden, we had to make the choice. And then sitting here raising Game Pass prices after they said the FTC, they were not, and they did. So they just got caught lying to the FTC and harming consumers in terms of sales as well as developers, like Call of Duty losing $300 million in sales, on top of Xbox losing part of that money too. And guess how much it takes to make a Call of Duty game? Yeah, you're going to be shocked. Black Ops Cold War, I think with a YouTuber that I watched just yesterday, said something about $700 million that it cost to make that game, and that's not even the greatest Call of Duty. But last year's Black Ops 6, almost upward to the $1 billion. So $300 million is definitely a lot, and almost half of that. So yeah, Game Pass is harming consumers and developers. And it's been multiple reports from multiple developers that have been coming out here and saying that Game Pass is not sustainable. Now here's proof that it's 100% true. It's not sustainable. Like, they're not making billions of dollars, which, I mean, they say they are, but really they're not, because they're just too busy buying all these acquisitions and just wasting that money. And they could have just been making better games. Now, the $7.5 billion on Bethesda is understandable. But Activision Blizzard, they just screwed themselves all over. Like, they screwed themselves over. And I just don't know what to do with this company anymore. Like, I'm just about half tempted just to get rid of Xbox altogether, because now their first-party games are going to come out to PlayStation. So, really, I could just stick with one console and be it. And I don't want to do that because I love the Xbox. And you can see, like I said, I got Xbox 360, Xbox One hard copies of games, and I got hundreds of digital games. Like, it's sad. This is just really, really sad of what they're doing. And honestly, now you got stores like Costco that already did, and now Sam's Club is now finishing up stock of what's left of Xboxes and no longer going to be selling them anymore. And guess what? I bet you Best Buy might be the next one. Best Buy might be the next one, and then it's probably going to be Walmart, and then it's probably going to be GameStop. So it's not good. It's not good, and now we're getting some rumors and reports that we may not even get a next-gen Xbox or whatever. There may not even be a next-generation Xbox. May not be. Honestly, the Series X and S might be the last generation for Xbox, unless Microsoft actually ends up changing their mind or gets new leadership, like I'm always going to continue to say, or just sells the brand off to a new company. But right now, it's not looking great, with prices going up of the Xbox's consoles now being more expensive than PlayStation 5s, and even the most powerful PlayStation 5 Pro that is like cheaper than a 2TB Xbox Series X, and then PlayStation Plus tiers being so much cheaper to get for a whole year's worth of PlayStation Plus Premium for only $160, and then you're going to be paying like $360 a year for Game Pass Ultimate, and then now losing Call of Duty sales, hurting developers, and then also the consumers not buying them. Yeah, the Activision Blizzard deal, from what the FTC, was absolutely 100% correct. It is hurting consumers and freaking developers. And then we had so many layoffs over the last year and a half that it's getting ridiculous, and then studios closing because games are just not selling that Microsoft owns. Like, yeah, Game Pass, I just really just don't think is good anymore. It's just not a very good deal anymore. So, yeah, guys, if I were you, yeah, cancel your Game Pass Ultimate. It's just not a very good deal, because at the end of the day, it's just going to hurt games, it's going to hurt developers, and it's going to hurt consumers. So all of these developers that have came out and said that Game Pass is unsustainable, they're absolutely right. It is not. It's just not. It's just not sustainable at this point. And honestly, it may not even be around for much longer. And I heard a rumor that Microsoft might actually start selling some of these companies back out. And I honestly hope they do, because if they do, at least they're going to stay in business a lot better, especially Activision Blizzard, especially with all that. So, yeah, Microsoft got caught lying, and literally lied to the consumers and lied to the FTC and then lied to the developers. So, yeah, Microsoft just got backfired that hit them. Microsoft just got backfired, hit on them. So, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this video. So, if you could, smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave your comment down below of your thoughts of this just Xbox Game Pass lying about Game Pass prices going up to the FTC that they said back in March 2023, and then the evidence that they lied and that lost Call of Duty sales, hurting consumers and developers and whatnot, that was proven from the FTC. Let us know in the comment section down below of your thoughts about this, and if you canceled your Xbox Game Pass subscription, let us know. So, this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.